This is it. This is episode 429 of No Laugh Track Podcast. I am Justin Severson here with my guest who has not been on this stage with me since August 12th of 2017.
Now this feels like a deposition.
Yeah.
Do you concur with that?
Now I'm leaning forward. So is that true or not?
Yeah. Well, we were just talking before we started recording that I've been on legal phone calls for a special.
Yes.
Where I'm trying to get stuff cleared to to use in the special, and it's song lyrics. And it's the most expensive thing. It's cheaper to get away with actual murder and like go through a whole trial than it is to quote a song lyric in a special. Yeah. Thank you for having me back. I mean, this is boring for anyone else that's not me, but this is a cool spot because these club dates have lined up with important moments of my life. Like the last time I was here, the set that I did here is the one I submitted to the Conan people, and that's what got me on the show and started this whole trajectory of working with the Conan people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I listened back to when we did this 4 years ago, and there was a brief mention of Conan that you had just...
Yeah, I did like some digital thing for them.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was me and Chris Red, and we hosted the pre-show to Conan that we're on the rooftop in San Diego in the heat, the San Diego heat, just on the roof, and then Conan would come up there and like riff with us, and then we would throw to these like video segments. So that's how I met them originally, and then they were like, you should submit a set. And then, I think maybe a month later, I did this, and then the tape from here is the one that I ended up sending them.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And then but we'll go back then, and then like you just said now, and my friend Chris Red, and then I think was it that year or the year after he got hired on SNL.
It was,
and I was like, that's the guy that's Moses Storm's friend. This is so cool.
Yeah, was the year he got faux hired. So the first year,
faux hired
27. Someone who runs a comedy blog, and we will not say names, but they prematurely announced that he had gotten the show when he didn't. He was the last, like, it was like between him and someone else. They really liked him, but they just needed a different kind of performer that year. But they really liked him, so it was this thing where he was on hold, and someone just prematurely announced it that he had gotten it. So his phone starts blowing up that day. He gets all these texts, and people are like, congrats, man.
You deserve it. Way to go, man.
Right? I always knew SNL, man, you're the king.
Just a matter of time.
Immediately started getting hit up for money. Immediately. People were like, yeah, man, it's good to see you doing well. You know, things aren't always so great for me. And then so he had to come out and say, like, I didn't get it. And then people are like, what happened? It's like, well, nothing happened.
And then also, I don't know for sure, but I've heard that it doesn't necessarily pay that well for people first starting on SNL. So then that's a whole thing,
not at all.
Too, where people are like, you're hitting up the wrong person. Even if he would have got the job for real. Like, I just have enough for me, guys.
Most jobs in comedy, the thing you get paid for is not performing.
Sure.
It's from early on in your career, you're essentially paying to perform. Literally you're paying to perform, to do open mics. Sometimes you have to pay $5 to an item minimum. And then those jobs are like, yeah, you get on SNL, you're getting nothing. It's basically covering the cost of moving your entire life to New York.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the job that, like, avocado water is going to sponsor you after that.
Sure.
Get a brand deal.
Yeah.
Maybe there's probably a better example than avocado water. That's disgusting.
Beet juice.
I was trying to think of the word cucumber. You know, when they like every waters now is like, it's got a hint of fruit.
Yeah.
Which just tastes like water from the sink. But avocado
you have not
water.
have it infused with guava.
Guava infused with guacamole. It's just like a chunk of guacamole.
Yes.
I wonder if you put that out in a hotel, if people would take it. You know?
If an expensive enough hotel, yes.
Yeah.
They would think it's supposed to be. This must be the healthiest thing I've ever
Where people
had.
are like, it's probably me that does it. Like, I should like this. This is classy. Avocado infused water, just floating in there.
Oh, you just use a lemon?
You get that natural metal taste.
That's right.
I'm gonna put that out at my shows. Just like tonight, I'm gonna put it out just a jug and see how many people take it.
Hidden camera. Wait, no hidden cameras. You
No
need to get
hidden
people's
camera.
permission, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh God.
people's
Don't
permission.
do anything ever.
No. So here you are. So you're in Minneapolis
Yeah.
and prepping to record a special.
Yeah.
There's a connection to Conan O'Brien with that too, right?
Yeah, they're producing it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean of like this place. And I was telling Lewis last night of like, oh my God, I can't believe these specific club dates keep lining up with pivotal moments in my career. This place specifically. Because yeah, I mean they're producing it.
Yeah.
And it's through them, but it's gonna be an HBO special, but they're the physical production company that's doing it. And yeah.
How
prepping
many
for that?
So
right
you
now.
told me before a little bit ago how many dates you have in between the recording and today to practice this stuff. How many are there?
One, and it's here.
Oh my goodness.
It's here and nowhere else right now because I'm shooting the show. That's why I have all these stupid tattoos on. Filming a show. So a lot of the tour dates I had, when you want to be on the road as much as possible before you tape, just to keep running it.
Yeah, of course.
Tweaking stuff.
That's what I'm always hearing is people like, as many as I can, as many as you can.
Anywhere and everywhere. Which I mean, we'll talk about this later, but I'm starting to not do that anymore because some places make you feel worse about yourself.
Oh, okay.
Like this is not productive at all. This makes it not fun. So yeah, it's like being selective with the dates.
Was there a chance you were going to have to cancel this week to work?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
I had
no.
to cancel the Chicago shows because it was shooting up until the night before.
So what
Came
are
here.
you shooting? Do you want to say?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I don't think it's
You said it-
officially out.
okay.
There's a Netflix show, and there's 2 seasons of it that may or may not be on, and this is the 3rd season of it, and it's a
Oh, it's that
anthology
dating
series.
show.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Is that why I put this on? I manufactured a whole personality to be on a dating show.
I knew they were staged. I knew it.
The Circle, the One, Are You the One is one of the great TV shows of our time because they just take the world's hottest people and it's actually a really hard game where what is it called? Perfect Match. I don't know. But you're supposed to guess who is your soulmate.
Yeah.
On the show, and they don't tell you anything. You're supposed to date around until you figure that out, and no one ever figures it out.
No. So for people, obviously we do video, so some people can be watching this. But if they're just doing the audio, your fake tattoos on your forearms.
Yeah, is this your camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
And this works for people. This is
So
enjoyable.
show off the tats. Do you have a favorite and least favorite?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So these are for the show. These have just got added to the cast for this, and yeah. I think the ones I hate the most are like knives. There's just like knives on me, cause like tough.
When I was in college, we did this weird experiment where they were like, dress differently than you normally do for a
Yeah.
day, and then
So would you dress cool?
Burn!
Nothing but nice to me, and you're roasting. Okay, stop.
This mother. And then you're supposed to like observe how people, if they treated you differently or not. I dress like those tattoos would have been perfect because I dressed like a lot of the guys I grew up with in St. Paul, the Mexican guys that would crease their pants and just button like what's his name?
Yeah.
Cholo fits.
Cholo, yeah.
Like that, like a
You don't
bandana.
have to say that anymore.
And just a couple top buttons.
Couple top
open,
buttons, yeah.
wife beater shirt.
It's a good look.
Yes.
It's a good look for you.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh my God. So you look like Cholo Drew Carey with a wasting disorder. If Drew Carey had a tapeworm, that's you.
Exactly. Like
And lived in East LA.
Yeah, this guy's trying way too hard.
Yeah.
There were some reactions, but same deal. Like now you're walking around in public.
Now I'm walking around with these.
with your tattoo guy now.
Yeah, it has changed. I don't
Has
know if
anyone
it's-
challenged you to a fight?
I have challenged people to a fight. I shit you not. This sounds okay. So this is true. So it's gonna be a mess. But last week,
Yeah.
Friday, yeah. So a week ago, and I was outside of a show, in downtown LA. It's already like a little sketchy, but I don't know. I was rushing to the show, and it's like in a loft. It's like a cool party space in a loft. And I parked the car just downtown. Like I rush in. There's someone that's homeless that's outside my car, just like sleeping on the street. Because life's hard, and there's no plan for people that are homeless. So I show up to the show. No one's at the show. It's like we're waiting. We're gonna wait till more people show up. We're holding, right? And it's 8:40 at a show that started at 8. Okay. So I was like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna go to this other show because they have 2 other sets tonight. So let me go to that show and I'll come back and like let me know if people show up. In that 8 minutes that I'm gone, from parking the car to no one's here, someone has smashed my window and taken my bag out that I have just like. I never unpack tour stuff, so I have all this like gear with me of stuff I'm working on the special with. There's like HDMI cables but I remembered that my iPad was in the bag.
Yeah.
And you've seen me before. I'm the type of person like if you broke into my car, I'd probably apologize to you and ask if your hand hurts. I'm like, yeah, win some, you lose some. No bag is worth it of hunting someone down. Also,
there's a towel in the back. You're going to need that for the cut.
Yeah. And, we grew up homeless adjacent, so I know how hard it is. And it's like at a certain point, yeah, it's difficult. And this past year's been incredibly difficult. So fine, just have the bag.
Yeah.
Then I looked down at my arms, covered in these tattoos. And I find my iPhone on to trace the iPad, and it's still like traveling, and I've already left to go to the other show, and I'm like, this is breezy in here. Oh God, windows smashed. So in that time, I peel back around, and there's this homeless guy with the cart, and he's pushing, and he's not in his spot anymore. So I take my car and I pull in front of him on the street to cutting him off essentially. He's like on the sidewalk, but I like on the street. I get out of the car and I'm like, "Where's the bag? Where's the bag? I know you took the bag." And I start going through his whole cart, and he goes, "It's fine, go through it. I don't know. Maybe I saw someone." It's like very sketchy. He's like a little fucked up too. So I go through his whole cart, and I'm taking stuff out of his cart, and I'm like, I'll give you money. Just like give me the bag. And oh man, there's this like pillow I pick up, and the pillow has like shit streaks on it. It's rough.
As you're saying this, I'm like, what are you putting your hands on?
I know. It's like, give it up. This guy deserves it. He deserves the bag more than you piece of shit. I do jokes. Dating in the quarantine wasn't easy. It's a stupid way to make a living. If I ever lose a massive amount of money, I'm like, well, yeah, that's deserved. It's a steal, the fact that you're paid for this job. So I peel back around. I going through his whole cart. He's like, it's fine. Go, you look, go ahead. Yeah, and I pull that pillow out and I'm like, I give him $40 for the trouble because it's not in there.
Yeah.
I give him $40 for like, I'm sorry, even though he was with the person that ended up taking the bag. So then I turn it back on. Oh, he's helping me like look now. He's like very sweet guy. We really hit it off. He's from Canada. He's very sweet. And then so we're like looking in different dumpsters. Now I'm in downtown LA. I mean, a global pandemic is happening, by the way. And I'm ripping through these dumpsters, and the things that people throw away in downtown LA, it's oh my God, it is the worst thing you've ever seen. Like everything should be burned.
Really?
So I'm going through all this wet trash, and I turned my iPhone back on, and now the bag is 6 blocks away. So someone has it, and it's like kind of moving.
Yeah.
So then I get back in the car, windows shattered, and I still have like stuff in the car I can't lose. And I drive to, in polite terms,
you got your new buddy in the passenger seat.
Buddy, we have plans to hang out. We're gonna go to SeaWorld. They don't have the dolphin shows anymore because it's terrible. But
right away, he's like, shotgun.
Yeah. What do they do at SeaWorld now? Since they can't do whale shows.
Oh.
Like, it's just like a bunch of grown men in wetsuits
Yeah,
swimming.
videos of the old shows.
You want to see a guy do a lap?
There's just a swim team.
Yeah, there's a synchronized swim team. So now I go to this what is it sounds like hyperbole, but it is for all intents and purposes it's a crack house. It's a half abandoned building in between two other buildings. I parked the car in downtown. It's a Friday night, so people are out still. And it's like, ugh. So I got to leave this car here, and there's two guys sitting out front of the crack house, like guards essentially.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know my bag is in here. I have it right here, so I need to get in here. I need to get my bag back. My car was broken into, and yeah, this is not a place you should be fucking around with at all. Or I don't know if can we swear on
Yeah,
this?
sure. Yep.
This is not a place. Like, in a very real way, there's places where you can push it and you can throw your weight around, but this is not a place where you should do this at all. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like cringing later thinking about this. So I know it's in there. And then just then, this woman comes out who's like a little sweaty, and she goes, what's that? So the bag, the bag's not here. Like, I didn't even say the bag to her. And she just knows. It's that level of guilt where she's purposely admitting too much information. So she's like, I'll help you find the bag. It's not in here, but I'll help you find the bag. But we're gonna find it. Let me take you around. Her name is Ginger. I later find out from the two guys at the front that this is she's a prostitute. So again, deserves the bag more than me. And she's now I'm on a goose chase with her, pretending to look for it the whole time I know she has it. The level of guilt and the level of help that she's offering is suspicious.
Did you ever make it inside the house?
Yeah.
That's
I
where you
make
were
it
looking?
Inside. It's a building,
Okay.
essentially. It's a cracked building. So
Oh,
it's
pardon me. Correct building.
It's a building, sir. Please use the terms correct. But it is like a half abandoned thing. It looks like people are paying rent. It also looks like anyone can kind of come and go.
Okay.
A lot of shady characters there,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going around and with her now, trying to play it as cool as possible. Of like, oh, how do I play this? If I immediately go, I know you have it, you thief. Okay, more flies with honey than with vinegar. Is that what people say? Who's trap involves vinegar? So now I'm going around with her. She goes, I'll help you find it. We're going to find it. In 30 minutes, we're going to find it. I'm like, that's suspicious again that you've put some sort of timeline on it. Now I'm going through new dumpsters. And then we cross the street where it's one of those street corners where it's just a bunch of people hanging out on a street corner. They own this corner. This is their corner.
Yeah.
I was like, I do not want to go over there. We jaywalk over there. And immediately she gets in a fight with another woman there. I'm like, we should not be here. And they know her.
Ginger, no.
Ginger, no. Also, Ginger is the laziest. Like, it's a lazy screenwriter came up with the name. Like, a prostitute named Ginger. That is the laziest writing. That's like when people in improv, they go, Timmy. And it's like, no one's named Timmy. It's the hack version of.
I love it.
And I need, if I'm ever going to tell this on stage, I need to change it because it's too unbelievable. A prostitute named Ginger.
Yeah, sure it was.
So they know Ginger. They know her. And I guess she had fucked with them too many times, or she's not supposed to be over on this side of the street. Definitely not with me.
Sure.
So then it's like, I mean, without joke, it's 25 people that are on this street corner.
Holy
just hanging
shit.
out. You know, some people are homeless or unhoused, which is, that helps people. Yeah, give them a new noun. They don't want a roof. They want a new noun.
Yeah.
So yeah, she gets in a fight. I'm like, we should get out of here. Like, that's fine. That's fine. If they have the bag, like you're gonna get stabbed. So this is not worth it. This is scarier than the crack house. Again,
So is your phone still telling you it's near you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still saying it's back at the crack house across the street.
Okay.
It's possible that because it updates every 5 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
Of like where the new location
Yeah.
is. So I keep refreshing it to be like, is it moving? Is it in her back? And I'm like, you know, at a certain point now, I just want the passport and the iPad out of the bag.
Yeah.
They can have everything else. meaning like I know it's her. So she gets in a verbal fight with this woman across the street. They start shoving her, and I'm like, we should get out of here. And then those 25 people, they start talking to other people like, this tattooed motherfucker is looking for someone. And I'm like, yeah, oh, that's me. I'm him.
This
And
badass tattooed motherfucker.
I know, and there was a little part of me, this got me through of like, I got this little high like, that's me. That cool person.
That's right. Your chest puffed out a little, stood a little straighter.
I was like, I mean, this is worth more than 1,000 iPads, is this little confidence boost. This tatted up motherfucker, he's not fucking around. He's looking for his bag. They start talking, right? Because I guess I look crazy. And so she gets in a fight, and I'm trying to pull her away. I'm like, let's just go. It's fine. So now I'm breaking up a fight. Again, this is a pandemic. This is no masks. These are people that have very rough lives. They're living on the street.
Yeah.
These aren't people like, actually, could you put your mask over your nose? I mean, COVID would be the most sanitary thing that they have.
Sure.
It would help. That's awful, but it is like I don't know who this person is that it's come over me with all this confidence. Now I find a little pipe in the street. It's never great when you find a discarded pipe. It's like, again, lazy screenwriting. It's like it looks like a Grand Theft Auto weapon that you pick up on the first round before you get the gun. I'm like, here's a pipe, but it's very thin. It's like a thin metal pipe. So now I have this pipe with
baby
me.
pipe.
Yeah. And because like that scared the shit out of me. That side of the road was like, this is fucked up now.
Yeah.
Like they're just gonna fight you because they can, and there's like no jurisdiction. Now, what I didn't mention is in this time, I've also tracked down 2 different police officers that told me, I was like, I have find my iPad on. I know it's here. Will you just come with me so we can get this bag back? And because that's the first instinct. I'm not an idiot. It's like, get the cops involved. And they were, and they said, no, we can't. We can fill out a report later.
We don't go to that neighborhood.
Yeah. They're like, unless it's a life-threatening thing, like we don't give a shit about this tattooed motherfucker and his iPad. My
You
passport.
look like you can handle it yourself.
My
Go get it,
passport
kid.
that expires in 2 months anyway, so let it go. But who knows what they can do with it. Yeah, so 2 separate police officers say, we can't do anything but fill out paperwork after the fact. I'm like, well, why are you here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's going to do
Like,
nothing.
we got to get across town and shoot some innocent people. Divisive. And so now we go back to the crack house, and I know it's there. I know it's there, and I have this little pipe with me. And then she's trying to get me to go up to this room. That's the line. I'm like, well, definitely not going to go up there. Okay, that's the line of like, you can get cornered in a room. Because everything else, yeah, I was in a bad area, but I was on the street. You know, there's like things you can't get away with. But if I'm in the room and there's other people in there.
Or that door closes. Oh, boy. Yeah.
I bet we grew up in rough neighborhoods. It's like there's a thing where they do, you could get jumped in a room.
Sure.
So it's like never be around 4 walls.
Yeah.
Is essentially the motto. So I'm like, that's the line. So I kind of give up on this. I'm like, fuck it. You know, this is not worth it. I'm like coming to my senses now. This is stupid. I'm already like starting to cringe of like, you fucking idiot. Like, you ever drive really fast and then later you're like, what the fuck was I doing on the highway?
Yeah.
Ugh, could have died. So then I leave now. I'm like, it's over. I'm like, I've gone through all these dumpsters, almost died. And I give her my phone number. Like, if anything happens, let's do it. And then she gives me a ring after I'm driving away. I'm home now. Who cares? Almost home. She calls.
Ginger?
Ginger calls me.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, this story is such a mess.
Just wanted to make sure I was following.
People have stopped watching months ago.
No. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, Ginger.
And I've completely given up on it. There's nothing matters. I mean, just like you get one life. She calls me and she goes, I found your bag. I found your bag. Like, of course you did. Of course you did, Ginger. So you mean you've decided to give it back? So I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm definitely going to give you a reward. Thank you so much for finding it. Let me come back. So I go back and she goes, yeah, it's up there. I think it might be up there in that room again. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, let me just give you a reward and get out of here, right? Like, make it worth your time. Please don't jump me. So then I take her to get pizza. This is all within the course of a night. And then I take her to a pizza place. I buy her 2 slices of pizza. And then we go across the street. And I'm like, yeah, so the bag. She's like, yeah. Let me just get some smokes. And then we can get the bag. And I was like, well, I just got you pizza, you know?
Can we just stop at Home Depot?
Yeah.
And like, what else do you need?
Florida Everglades are beautiful this time of
No
year.
shit.
Could you charter a flight?
Yeah.
So then she goes, yeah, I might be hungry later. So then I buy her a full pizza now. Just like keeping her on the hook of like, give me this back now. It's just like adding up quick. I'm like, this is the price of an iPad now. So then she's like, okay, yeah. I just smoke and then we can get the bag. So then I go into a smoke shop and I buy her 2 packets of cigarettes. And for some,
that's like $90 these days. So
yeah, it's $90. It's the price of a small condo. And again, the story's a mess. I've left things out. I've canceled my credit cards at this time because my passport's there. I don't know what other things were in the bag. I was just coming back from Austin, so a lot of stuff that I travel with. So I just cancel all the cards or like give them a heads up that everything was stolen. So now I'm trying to buy her cigarettes, but the card's declining to a point where somehow the American Express has tipped off that the card's been stolen. So now this smoke shop thinks that I am using this stolen card and trying to pay for it. So they're like, just hold on a second. Because I don't know what this technology is. It's a little scary, but something's coming up in their system that this is a stolen card. And, you know, it's the company you keep. I'm with a prostitute named Ginger who looks like a artist rendering of a prostitute. Or a sex worker. And,
not Julia Roberts' version?
Not the Julia Roberts version. Not the version that screenwriters came up with to make them feel better about having sex with prostitutes, which is something that happens all the time in Hollywood. Yeah, they were like, what if it was like wish fulfillment, but for prostitutes? I'm actually helping her. I helped her out.
That's right.
I'm the good guy here. Huh? Is he? So now they're trying to get me to stay there, the smoke shop.
Until the cops show up.
Yeah. All right, which I didn't even know you could do that. So I'm like, no, I got my bag stolen, Ginger, right? And I'm like, you're using her as an alibi now? This most unreliable narrator, she goes, yeah, we're gonna get that bag right now. It's upstairs. We got to get the bag. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I have some cash on me. I have to get her 1 packet of cigarettes because it's all I could afford with the cash that's on me. So it's $6,000.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then she's like, oh, let's go upstairs to get the bag. I'm like, no, I'll wait down here. So she goes up the stairs of this cracked building. I'm downstairs, and oh boy, is it sketchy down there alone. Like, I really want Ginger to be there with me because I could essentially use her as a passport to get into these places.
Yeah.
Or if with her, people just think like I'm trying to enlist her services,
right?
Essentially.
Yeah.
So you have that cover, and people aren't gonna fuck with her. It's like, oh, she's on her hustle,
right?
And then so I'm downstairs, and then I go back out to where the 2 guards are out front, the 2 guys that are guarding this thing. And this is when I get all the information that she's a prostitute and that I was like, I know she's running a hustle on me. I'm just like, want to get the passport and the thing back. But she can have the bag. I totally get it. It's rough. And I bought her cigarettes, and now I've given her $40 too. So I've given the other guy pizza, 2 slices, and then a full pizza because she's like, I think they might be hungry up in the room. I'm like, oh, great. I'm giving them fuel to jump me. I'm giving them nourishment.
I think they're out of bullets too.
Yeah. Let's get the protein pizza, extra sausage so they can shoot. Do they need anything? You know, give them some ice for their hands after they punch the shit out of me. So I bought my attackers a pizza. And then so she comes down, and again they say like, another guy comes into this crack building and like, what's going on? Like, because why is this fucking Wonder Bread outside? right? Are you hosting a children's TV show here? What are you doing? And they're like, this tattooed motherfucker. I get again a separate person. Like this tatted up motherfucker. He's bag stolen. A new high kicks in. I'm like, fuck yeah. And I put the little pipe in the back of my shirt now because I'm among friends. It's safe.
Sure.
So it's in the back, and then lo and behold, old Ginger shows up with an iPad and a passport right on top. And she goes, here we go. We found it. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And I'm like, what about the bag, though? Like, can I get the bag back? You know, like, I'll buy you another cigarette. She goes, you're out of money. You got the cigarettes. Because, like, I couldn't buy the cigarettes because I already given her money to, like, help me with this goose chase.
Right.
So I'm out of money, and I know the bag's there, but at that point, it come to my senses. I got my this tattooed motherfucker. I got the passport back, and I got the iPad back. And I was like, fuck it. Yeah. So I got it back. Now, all that to say, that very long-winded story, I would not have done any of that shit if I didn't have fake costume tattoos on.
What the hell?
I know. I got lost in the role. I'm a man of the theater. And it was like the toughness, it's so not in me. It was like a theater kid playing a gangster.
Did you ask?
So you want to mess with us, huh?
Were you passing that back and forth like a pocket knife with the
I was twirling a pocket knife, but I have no coordination, so I keep slashing my hand. But I was like carrying myself different. I'm like, what's this? Huh?
Yeah.
And the little pipe. More embarrassing if you get a shot off the little pipe. It's the smallest pipe that you can buy at Home Depot, like thin-wise. It's long and thin. It's basically a whip. I bought a hard whip on the street.
Did you ask Ginger to call you by your character's name?
Yeah. I was
That's
like,
the tattoos?
I'm not really feeling it. I tried to change her name, too. I was like, can we change it? Because I might have to tell this to other adults. Yeah. Can we change some of the specifics?
I'm Spike in this role. So.
Yeah. So I'm 30 now, and I want to get tattoos, but I do think it's too late. I do think it's too late to get a tattoo, unless they have to mean something. I think in your 20s you can do this because everyone's making mistakes. People are passing out in public, right?
Yes.
They don't know their limits. People are chugging hot water bottles of vodka before they go to Six Flags. Everyone's a piece of shit in their 20s, so if you get them, you get that little grace. But 30 now, it's like you should be making good decisions, and everything is going to need a story behind it. And I do think it's too old, unless it's got to be like a dead dad, because then you can guilt someone for making fun of it. Of like, right? Like, what's that? Stupid koi fish? Like, that's my dead dad. Yeah. That fish represents my dead dad. So I need stories.
Who's Steve,
around
your boyfriend?
That.
No, my dead dad.
That's
asshole.
my dead dad. Anytime you get a tattoo made fun of, why is that?
Or you just get them hidden on your body, where just you and your.
But that's not the point. I want to be that tattooed motherfucker.
True.
You know? So I might just keep these. I just keep reapplying them. These are very expensive. Because these are like the real ones that they don't rub off. Like you have to buy. It's called spirit gum.
Oh yeah.
Like a thing that to get them off. I would keep this. This is cool. I like this octopus.
The octopus.
Just that Netflix movie really changed my life. Where this guy bothered an octopus and projected a relationship.
What if they would have looked closer and all those were for like some sort of weird kids movie, and they were like smiley faces, and then like
that's even harder though.
An elephant.
That's even harder. That's like how we grew up in really rough neighborhoods, and the scariest motherfuckers would be in Tweety Bird jackets.
Yeah, right.
Right, and like Elmer Fudd, like because they want to fight.
Yeah.
They hope. Oh, I hope to God you want to fight me. So
you're not wrong.
It is like that's been helped me. The ones that's like he's not tough is like a skeleton, right? Like that guy, you could fuck with that guy. You could push him over. A knife? This guy's never held a knife before. A knife in general.
A knife and there's one finger, like the pinky's off.
Yeah. The one I did aggressively rub off on the way here, like on the plane, like it hurt my hand rubbing it off because I didn't have the spirit gum that the makeup people do, was a music note. It's the shittiest tattoo. It's just the idea of music. Music? It's a note. It could be to anything. It could be to Yankee Doodle.
Yes.
Right? It's nothing says I do not have a personality like a music note tattoo. Ouch. Even if it's your dead dad, then your dead dad was an idiot.
Master composer, dead dad.
I will fight everyone with a music tattoo.
No.
It's deeply embarrassing.
Male or female.
Male or female.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Across the board. It's just like, in lieu of a person, you could have gotten anything. And get an X's name before you get the idea of music. I guess what makes me original is I like music. You know, the most popular art form. Right. You know, the thing that even comedians wish they were.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I need to tell you that my wife was with me last night.
And then she's no longer with you.
Well, now I'm gonna,
let's unpack your new divorce.
Happened fast. You want to know what's new? No, we were leaving and she said this because I said, holy crap, that show. Well, you were saying throughout the shit, like you said several times, I haven't even gotten to the stuff for the special.
Yeah.
We're walking out and I was like, holy shit, I want to come back because I think I missed a ton that he hasn't done. And fuck, that was so much fun. What I just watched was so much fun. My wife goes, I just want to hang out with him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you could get.
Okay,
that's better
good.
than like, yeah. That's a really nice, oh man, it doesn't feel as good as Who's That Tattooed Motherfucker, but I like that. Hangout is the best because, I mean, I just want friends.
Yeah.
A lot of why I don't think people want to admit this to themselves is you were that kid that you made people laugh so you could make friends. So you wouldn't be alone.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be called
Yeah,
out.
well.
And all of us, that's like you're playing the heartstrings. But that's exactly what I wanted. That's who I am, is I want to hang out with you.
So what are you doing Saturday? No,
yeah, I will. I do hang out with people. I mean, I make a point to do a meet and greet after. That's very unofficial. It's not a, let's do a photo, but like I'll talk to people after because one, I'm no one. I'm so deeply grateful when people come out to a show. It means the world to me. And I do this essentially so that I'm not alone. It makes me feel less alone. And when people come up and they pull like a weird specific from my life and then they can relate.
Yeah.
Makes me feel great. It instantly melts away any wound that you had.
Yeah.
Any scar goes away when someone's like, oh, we used to do that too. We used to eat from the dumpster. That's been the greatest thing. It's something I was incredibly humiliated about. Even now as an adult, even if you do it in a joke, people still are like, I'm probably better than you because you ate garbage.
So we talked about that briefly 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And you were saying then that you were having a really hard time making that stuff funny.
Yeah.
And here we are, September 2021.
I found a way.
You found a way.
I found a way to make it funny. Yes, that was the biggest goal. It was actually Chris Redd's advice. That's like, don't cut it. Because we would tour together or do shows together and it would bomb. It would bomb every time. Part of it's just not being good enough as a comic. Or part of it is you not being far away enough from it. So it's still too sensitive.
Sure.
But I did find a way through writing and then just being personally growing about it and talking about that. It's not the worst thing I've done for sure. Like it's not the hardest thing that anyone's ever gone through is eating from the garbage. Pretty lucky because we live in America and the garbage is incredible. But it is for some reason a hang up that I somehow feel guilty about. Even though it was not my decision, it is something not guilty, but just deeply ashamed about for some reason.
Sure, yeah.
And it's not the gross part. It's the way that people look at you when you're in a dumpster. It's this like, it's like you could see their heart breaking in real time if you're a child in a dumpster.
Yeah.
The people would sometimes be driving. They would pull over and just give us money. Like, have you ever been so bummed out that you felt the need to pull over your car. It's not even like we are approaching people on the street. They just pull over their car. Like, that sucks so hard. I'll give you money so you don't do this. Like, you're a sad extra in my life.
Yeah.
This is the saddest background actors in my life. Like, I want to pay for this scene to not be in my life.
Right?
I'm the protagonist of my life, is how everyone feels. And that's a bummer scene right there.
Yeah.
That's Norman Rockwell would not paint that.
So I was listening to, you recently did a podcast with Pete Holmes.
Is it out?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Is that bad?
No. I'll tell you off
Oh,
camera.
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't bring up what I'm going to bring up
No,
then.
you should. No, I love Pete. Yeah. No. It's nothing to do with him. Separate personal issue that I have. And Pete actually gave me some great advice on all this.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm listening back to that, and you're telling a big part of this, of your history,
Yeah.
like with your family and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to that going, and I'd heard some of that 4 years ago and stuff, and I'm like, man, this is like, does he think, I was going to ask you, I was thinking like, how am I going to approach this and ask him about this? And then I thought, oh, I know, I'm going to ask him like, is there a part of your upbringing that you're shocked people are like, that you're surprised by people's reaction. Like, they should be more shocked by this part instead of this part.
Oh.
And then I think it hit me as I was listening to Pete Holmes, because it happened on there.
Yeah.
It was when you said that your mom was in denial or didn't want people to know about her real hair color, and that she dyed all of your kids blonde.
Oh my God, I have a major
And I
update.
told my wife about that, and she was like, "What?
Insane."
Yes.
Do you have show notes, or you could put a photo in the show notes?
Oh, for sure.
For
Yes,
people?
absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so I'll send you guys this photo. So if you're listening to the podcast, you could see this is a real photo of me at 13. And we're pulled that up right now for our editors. And yes, so this is true. She had 5 kids, and she didn't want anyone knowing that she herself was not a natural blonde, so she dyed all 5 of her kids blonde. Which,
That's a lot of work.
the level of covers, like, just take the hit. Take the hit. It's not, like, I'm going to tattoo all my kids, so it's like no one thinks that these are fake. This tattooed motherfucker. Right? Those are natural.
Clearly
The
blood.
kids have
There's a
them.
bloodline.
This photo shoot was free, by the way. The photo that we're going to show you is from a free photo shoot that was supposed to cost $100. But at the end of the photo shoot, the photographer said, "Oh my God, these are great. The boys are going to go crazy for you. You're beautiful." And my mom was like, "Why? He's a boy." And she felt so bad that the photo shoot was free. And definitely some of the poses she chose were like, oh yeah, at least in 90s terms, or like 2013, this was, or 2003.
I was going to say,
These
was
are,
that
these
recent?
are
How old are you?
very feminine, traditionally conceived as more feminine poses.
I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't even believe that.
Gender's a spectrum. Everyone's all over the place. But yeah, this was, she thought I was a lady and was steering the shoot to make me look as attractive as a young woman as possible. Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
The blonde hair looks natural to me. I will say that. Your mom did a wonderful job.
Oh, yeah. It dyed it. Now, a big addendum
Okay.
to that. My mom was like, "That's not true." I'm like, it is. But her cover story is like, we were living in a 1-bedroom apartment briefly. And this is the cover story. I'm like, at this point, it's better that you dyed the kid's hair to cover it up.
Okay.
But the update is she's covering it because it is, I get it. It's an embarrassing fact to be like, oh, I care about my image that much. Is that we were in a 1-bedroom, and kids were not allowed. You can't have 5 kids in a 1-bedroom. It's you have to pay more. It's frowned upon. So her cover story is that she was trying to play off all 5 kids as just one kid. So if we all had blonde hair, the 5 separate human beings, we're close in age, but no one's that close, is that we were all supposed to be the same person in the eyes of the landlord. You'd be like, oh, that's the same kid who's 2 feet taller
No.
and a different gender.
There's no way I could have guessed this.
We look alike, but not that much. And I'm like, how is that a better story? It's like, that one's an actual crime. You're allowed to dye your kid's hair. But yeah, she's like, we were living at this apartment and we don't want them knowing that it was more than one kid in the apartment. So I used camouflage to make you guys all look the same.
I honestly thought you were going to say she was trying to like get you guys in some boy band contest or something.
Oh yeah, right? No, it was, at least in my personal memory, it's her doing that. And then that's her cover story now, which is, I mean, incredible. It's fun. It was almost funnier than the just dying it because you don't want.
Wow. Well, unfortunately, my wife does not listen to this
show.
podcast, so I'll have to update
She can't
her.
stand the sound of your voice. She had to leave the room every time.
Yeah, so I'll have to tell her that personally.
Yeah,
But
so
I don't have
she's
a
the one
problem
that's.
doing
You
that.
should come back tonight. You should definitely get out of the house. You should go back.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely
So
right.
tonight will be different. Maybe 40% different.
Okay.
I think we'll do the same ending story. But yeah, some stuff is going to be different tonight.
I know, and we got to wrap this up here, but I have to say that there is a part of the show where you bust out a video, and we don't even have to. I just want to say, I mean, my stomach hurt, my face hurt from laughing so hard at that. It was so unexpected, so funny, so unique. So,
thank
I
you.
mean, my mind
I'm so
was
glad
blown.
that we have it.
We have a young daughter at home, and my mother-in-law was watching her last night when we came to the show. And as soon as we got home, that was the first thing we told my mother-in-law.
Oh, that's
about
cool.
Was that video?
Oh, that's cool.
We're just like, I can't believe what we just saw. This is so crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So this whole week, I'm editing different versions of it. We won't give it away, say what it is, but
People have got to come see this live.
you got to come see it live, especially because I need you to come out live because I had to change so much for legal notes with HBO, with the video, different material choices, new updates from my mom to set the story straight, which is a more incredible story.
Yeah.
So stuff is changing for legal notes, and I desperately need people to be here and tell me what's good and what's terrible. Even if you hate it, it's great because I don't want this to be on TV forever.
Yeah.
So tell me what sucks and let's cut it.
Yeah, no, people have got to come while there's still tickets left this weekend.
Yeah.
So good.
And I'll say hello to you after. I want to be everyone's friend.
There you go.
I need you to like me.
And when are you recording it? Have you said that? And when?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea?
October 21st in Los Angeles at the
Okay.
Montalban Theater. There's going to be 2 shows on October 21st, like a 7 and a 9 o'clock show. They're going to put out like cheaply priced tickets at the beginning, and then if it doesn't fill, like if you just wait, it'll probably be free the day of because a special, especially if you're not famous, they just want to get as many people as possible.
Of course,
And
yeah.
it's going to be very hard for me to fill up a 1,200 seat theater, or at least in my self-doubt head. Twice.
That'll look great.
Yeah, so that's, 2,400 people that need to come out for 2 shows. But yeah, that's I'm so excited to have a date. I'm not fully celebrating yet because this has been a year push.
Right.
So everything feels like it's going to go away because of COVID.
So has HBO? Yeah, of course. Has HBO told you like, well, we're gonna do it here. We're gonna do it now, and then we're gonna have an idea of have it ready to go December, January.
All of it is, we're living in such a weird time right now that almost the height of the pandemic was better than this perpetual limbo.
Yeah.
Where we're all making plans in the sands as the tides roll in.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what is going to happen?
Yeah.
I don't know
Ideally,
if
it'll
we
go
will
this
take-
way. It could
Sure.
go this way.
About 2 weeks to edit. I'm going to be editing it. I'm directing it, co-directing it with some. I don't know if I can announce that yet, but directing it with a cool director. And I'm going to be editing it myself. So it's basically on me to get it out as fast as possible. But they want it out as soon as possible. So it might even come out within the year.
Okay.
Just because the whole reason you get to do stand-up on HBO is because it's so cheap to produce and it's so fast. It doesn't take, you get a whole season. And not a lot of stuff has been made past year, so they're just cranking out
I
stuff
suppose, yeah.
to make up for the time. They have to fit like they have to fill different content quotas of things that need to be updated. So I'm just one of those things.
There's going to be another like Game of Thrones thing or something. You got to see if you can get it like right after that Game of Thrones premiere. Right?
I know, right? Well, now no one's watching the channel. HBO.
Oh, that's true. It's on
Everyone's doing HBO Max,
True.
and I can say this: their 5-year plan, what they're telling us is that everything is going to become HBO Max.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
You know, it was a little rough of a rollout when it first started. 'Cause
People
you're
were
like,
confused.
I have HBO Latino, I have HBO Kids, Family, whatever it was.
East.
You know? Yeah. HBO for recently divorced moms. It was too specific. So now everything in Max is going to
Well-intentioned.
be, yes, everything that has ever been on HBO and will be on HBO, from Latino to, any subgenre is all going to be HBO Max.
Sure.
So that's what I was like, oh, okay, that's the one to sign up for.
Yeah.
And
Makes
they
sense.
have tripled their subscribers because of the movies, because of the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
So
All the
part of me is
premieres.
like, it's a bummer that everything has been pushed, but HBO Max has never been bigger and better because of the movies that had to
Yeah.
premiere there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I'm like, oh man, I don't think I'd get the offer today from HBO Max if it wasn't
Interesting.
already agreed to before, when they were just like, we're just starting out, we're trying to get as many things as possible.
Well,
I think it would be much harder for me now to get a special there.
sure.
Than
Sometimes
when
that's
was
how it
agreed
works.
to.
Just the good timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to keep in my head as it keeps getting pushed in this perpetual limbo.
It's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. Congrats.
So I'm very lucky to be there.
Good luck the rest of the week.
Thank you.
I am for real going to try to make it back over here.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay, cool.
We'll see. It's not always easy to get out on the weekend, but I'm
know.
going to give it a shot.
I know.
But if I don't, someone else, please take my seat and take advantage of the great show that's here this weekend.
Okay.
Moses, thank you so much for doing this.
This is a seat, by the way. You're going to be on the stage for the entire. You refuse to move. It's very odd. No, thank you so much for having me back on your show. This is the best version of promo for shows. We've all done terrible morning radio, morning TV, and this is the best version of it. So you're very kind, and you're incredibly intelligent, and you understand comedy. So it's really nice to talk to you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's do it sooner than 4 years from now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'll be back. I can't wait to be too big to play this place.
Yes. Let's do
Lewis, I'm out of here. I'll be at the Target Center.
it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.